Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Soul Talk, and you're with Dark Prophet. So, the title for today is going to be If Black Lives Matter. That's the title, If Black Lives Matter. So, the Black Lives movement, right, at the moment is making waves, right, because of the death of George Floyd, right? So, the movement started to fight state sanctioned racism against black people, and also police brutality that black people face, like the death of George Floyd is an example of what the organization was created for. It started like 4 years ago. So not only is it fighting racism and police brutality against black people in America, but was also fighting it all around the world. So as the George Floyd protests took off and the movement was popular, grew more popular, the whole thing happened, I took a step back and I just watched it, I followed it closely. And the question I kept asking myself is, does Black life matter? Does Black lives even matter? And in this episode, we're just going to look at that. Like I told you, the title is If Black Lives Matter. You see, we live in a country, right, whereby every day is a constant reminder that we are not living up to the dream that our ancestors have set for us or our patriots have set for us. And that is always a reminder. But then if Black Lives Matter, there are some things that should be in place to show us that Black Lives Matter in this country. There's some things that should be in place. We shouldn't just be looking at the Black Lives movement as something that is happening in America. It's something that we can incorporate in our own country here and ask ourselves, does Black Lives matter? You see, if Black Lives matter, then we will be worried about the rate of police brutality in this country. Rather than focusing in America, we'll be worried about what is going on in this country, where police can arrest you for something you did not do and put you in jail for something you did not do, or police will see you on the street and beat you black and blue. Those issues are something that we should worry about, and we should ask ourselves, does Black Lives matter in this country when these things go on? You see, another thing we also have to consider is, if Black Lives matter, then we will be very worried about the level of poverty in this country. You see, as the economy is, COVID-19 is affecting the economy, it seems like everything is now going downhill now. The poverty level is too much. People begging in the streets, people starving to death, women. I remember a story I read about some pregnant lady that fainted because she had not had food to eat for 3 days. You see, if Black Lives matter, then we will be, as individuals, we'll be worried about the level of poverty in this country. You see, another area where we should also ask ourselves if Black Lives matter is in the state of our education system. You see, in this country, the education we get is like as if it's second-hand education. It's like an education whereby all we do is learn about white people. And then our own people, our own heroes, they are relegated to the sides. Go to your social studies, go to all these your courses that you read that you participated in secondary school or middle or primary school. You will see what was always being pushed to you was the white man's knowledge, how the white man created this, how the white man created that. You see, look at the state of the university systems and some of these profs that are sleeping with students for grades and all that stuff, or the profs that feel that they are demigods, who feel that they should decide your future, that because they are profs, they can make any decision in your life, they can give you any grade they like. Those things should be paramount. If Black Lives matter, then we as individuals will be worried about that. Another area we also have to worry about is the human rights. It's about fighting for those people who can't fight for themselves, the powerless in society, those who are not educated, those who don't have the opportunities that we have. You see, if Black Lives matter in this country, those of us who have been exposed, who have education, or who know what is going on, or who is qualified to participate in this country, we will set out to fight for the downtrodden. But sometimes what you see in this country is like those who have the opportunity to get there or to be in position of power, what they look at is to ride on the downtrodden. It's like, rather than help them get where they ought to be, you rather take advantage. Why? Because you went to school and you know what's happening, and this person does not know what's happening. It's like, I went to school, so this one is my mugu, so I'll take advantage of that. So if Black Lives matter, then As educated people, as people who have been given opportunity that is rare in society, we will fight for the rights of the poor people. We will fight for the rights of the disenfranchised. You see, if you look at our society, right, it's always divided against what tribe you are coming from. You know, when people hear your name or when you make a comment about a particular tribe, what people want to know is where is he from? Where is that from? Is he Igbo? Is he Yoruba? You see, if Black Lives Matter in this country, we will stop worrying about what tribe you are from. That thing will be secondary stuff. You know, we will be worried about, or we will see you as a human being. It will not be about, oh, he's Igbo, so because he's Igbo, this is Yoruba land, we will not give him this because he's not part of us. You'll be worried. You will see yourself as a human being. See yourself and your brothers and your sisters as human beings, not as tribes. Because when you see them as human beings, then you will do unto them as you do to yourself. But when you see them as particular tribe, in your way you feel justified to deny them some of those things that they are entitled to. And that's why it's better, if we want to practice, if Black Lives Matter, we should see every human being in this country as my brother, as my sister. Then you will not take advantage of them. Then you will not deny them of what they rightfully earned. You see, if Black Lives Matter, then we as individuals, we have to demand more of our leaders. It is not about, okay, give me a bag of rice and you get into government house. It's not about that anymore. It's about, if I'm voting for you, then you must be doing something, or you must be going there to do something tangible. You understand? I'm not going to sell the future of my children or the masses just because of a bag of rice. You understand what I'm saying? So if Black Lives Matter, we as a people have to make decisions and have to take a stand against those things that tell us that our lives don't matter. And that is what is important. You see, the Black Lives Movement does not just end in America. It should start here. It's about us questioning ourselves, like, how can we make Black lives here matter? Because if we act as if Black Lives Matter in this country, then over there, they will less likely brutalize us. But if in our own country, we're not even treating ourselves as if our lives matter, then why should they treat Black people there as if their lives matter? You know? So this is the issue that this Black Lives Movement should raise in us. You know? It should make us want to create an inclusive society, because going on what we see today, as a Nigerian, you have to worry about the future of our children. You have to really worry, because if now you don't have money to pay house rent, you are hungry, your education is BS, then 10 years from now, what is it going to be? 20 years from now, how are the children going to fare? So, at the moment, this country is run in a way that simply says that Black lives don't matter. And if in our country, people can be lynched for stealing 30,000 naira phone or 100,000 naira phone, if they can be killed for that because they stole, then all we are saying to the world is Black lives don't matter. So these are something that we should take into consideration. If there's something we should learn about this Black Lives Movement, is that if Black lives matter, we have to reshape our society so that the world can look at us and say, okay, Black lives matter, because in these African countries, they are doing things, they are treating themselves with dignity. But if we continue to treat ourselves without dignity and continue to do things that show that our lives don't matter, then the world will say, well, Black lives don't matter. So what I'm trying to get at is Black lives should matter, and there are some things that we need to put in place in this country so that it should be the case, so that Black lives will matter. Because at the moment, it doesn't matter. Thank you.